Hello everybody, subscribe to 9 Volt Games, and today we're going to talk about Doom Dark Ages. This will be a spoiler-free review. I don't spoil things on this channel without explicit, warning. It's usually in the title, or I'll say it so obnoxiously that you probably left the video before. I have to say this because on one of my shorts, none of my shorts had spoilers in them, by the way. On my short, specifically, the one that did really well, which was just the Slayer opening a door and walking through. If you played the game, you know where it's from. But that little bit was in the trailer. I just extended the cutscene, and I edited it together myself because I thought it was funny. Somebody went on there and called me a retard for spoiling the game, and then proceeded to spoil the game for me. So I had the ending, I had all the story bits ruined for me through a fucking comment on here. So I appreciate that. However, that's the lead into my first part of this review. This game's story heavy. A lot of story, and that might turn some people off, for the simplicity of Doom. Doom has a story, but you don't have to pay attention to it. Well, I got good news for you with this game. My 13-year-old son does not do cutscenes, and he's beaten this game and he's halfway on his second playthrough. He skipped every cutscene and he likes this one the best out of the three revival series, right? So you can skip the story completely in this game and still have the same enjoyable Doom experience. If you incorporate the story, I enjoyed the whole story. I'll let you know a little bit later on how I feel about that in terms of being a Doom game. I will say that this is the Quake 2 that I wanted back in the day. Don't get me wrong, Quake 2 is great, but Quake 2 has nothing to do with Quake 1, right? It's in name only and some of the weapons, but Quake 1 had a medieval theme. This game's called the fucking Dark Ages. They even had the nail gun. I don't care what you want to call it. It was a nail gun. And then it even shot 9-inch nails as an impaler. So, as far as it goes, this is a repurposing of the Quake aesthetic, and then it kind of makes me upset because the last Doom Eternal review I did, I said, I hope they make a new Quake game or they reboot Quake. This kind of dashes my hopes because this was just Quake and Doom smashed together. Now, I really did enjoy the story. I liked all the places they went. I can't really talk about the story without doing any spoilers, so I'm going to give it some time for people to beat the game, and then I'm going to do another video inevitably. I'm still playing this game. So let's talk about a couple things that I didn't like. Because I watched every cutscene, this is two things that goes into it. I fell into the same trap that I always fall into with these type of games, not necessarily just Doom. I will 100% everything in the first half of the game, and if the story's getting long in that game, you'll see my progression for each level drop down to pretty much nothing because I just want to be done. I did that in this game, but I also did that in Doom Eternal too, because I was like, I just want to beat it and then I can go back and then get all the shit again. I did that in this game, but I did that hard because as much as I enjoyed the story, every time I got excited and I was like, this is it. I know it shows you the chapters, but at certain points, again, without spoiling anything, there was a couple times where I was like, let's get this over with. Let's get this over with. And then the ending of the game was so amazing, and where you go was amazing that I ended up forgetting that. But I did want to get the game done after somebody spoiled it for me, so the progression is what I have to go through right now, my second playthrough, and get back. So replayability is there if you don't get everything the first time through, and even if you do, you can just jump up to the next difficulty and do it again. That's how my son plays the game. That's how he gets his value out of the game without paying attention to the story. One thing I liked, and then when I stepped back, it didn't really make a difference, is that shield is great. I posted one of my first shorts on here for this game. I got roasted because someone said it wasn't using my shield. By the time you get in the groove of the game, it'll be a few bullets in a shield, either a bash or a throw. It incorporates itself in. And they had a bunch of new weapons, new takes on weapons, and new weapons in general. 99% of the game I played with the super shotgun after I acquired it. I pretty much beat the entire game. I think I used the cycler, the super shotgun, and the impaler. I didn't use rocket launcher. I didn't use grenade launcher. The chain shot I used it right when you get it, and it does it gives you a few enemies when you get a new weapon. So basically, it's tested out. I used it at that point. Never upgraded it. There was so I appreciated they put new things in. I ended up playing it the same exact way. Same thing happened with Doom Eternal. I had 2 weapons, and the same thing happened with Doom 2016. I had 2 weapons that I cycled through. It doesn't matter what difficulty, as long as you know how to play, you'll have your set. And Super Shotgun was the best in this game, I think, out of all of them. Okay, so the story and how I feel about it being in a Doom game. This is not my favorite out of the 3 Doom games. I think that still goes to Doom Eternal. But that's more the gameplay. I really like the story of this game. He's just Jesus, by the way. When you beat the game, you'll understand. Or have the whole story, you'll understand. But yeah, I guess he's just Jesus. Or God. I'm not 100%. I like the story because they need... I know you guys can't see it. I can foresee this. I know other people probably around my age have seen games and series go through this. And this is what happened with the original trilogy. I appreciate this, and this is it's not a theory, this is a fact of how they did this. Doom 1 was great, slow paced, kind of scary, white knuckle action. Doom 2, they took everything that was in Doom 1, they doubled it, made it harder, and just made it insane. Right? And then Doom 3, they did something different, and they created a story around it, a retelling of this of the lore, but making it more of a coherent story. And people didn't like it. People liked it, but they didn't like it. So Doom 2016 was slower paced. It wasn't scary, but slower paced. It was more that environment. Doom Eternal, they just amped everything up and made it fucking harder, which is what I loved about it. It was just wild the whole way through. And then Dark Ages, they did something different and they made it story based. So they're pretty consistent. But what I liked about this is they had to do it. They had to do something with this character because first of all, Microsoft purchased it. They're gonna make their money off of it somehow. They're trying to create a character. They could probably make a show with a silent protagonist. I'd be all down for it, by the way. But it kind of seems like maybe they're going that direction. But at the same time, if we got Doom Eternal again, I think people would be upset. Or even if they went back and they made it a little bit slower because they're like, oh, we're going back in time, so he's not as as badass as in Doom Eternal. And it was the same game as 2016. While people might tell me I'm wrong and be like, no, that's what I want. It's not, because if you got the same exact game, you would be upset eventually if that's the way they kept doing it. So. The consensus is that everybody likes this game, so they're going to keep going in this direction. If they didn't like the game, they would just go back and reboot the series or revive the series again. But Doom is... I'll use a topical term, I guess. Doom is like recession-proof, okay? In any gaming landscape, their worst game is still a best game. Right? People didn't like Doom 3 because it wasn't a Doom game, but it was still a great sci-fi horror game. And it was scary, especially before they added the flashlight mod. This game felt like, oh, I forgot. I've been telling people this since I started playing it. This game felt like Halo 3. And I love Halo 3. Do you like Halo 3? Okay, well, get rid of Master Chief and add this motherfucker. So it's Halo 3 on steroids, and if that doesn't make you want to play the game, I don't know what else to tell you. It's the fucking Doomslayer put into a Halo story, and he tears shit up. And you already know what happens because, you know, it's a prequel. Still surprises you. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully everybody plays this so I can do the spoiler video.